Right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Nicole Kendall Origi. I'm a professor and EdTech coordinator for the Education Technology Degree and Certificate Program in the Department of Teaching and Learning at Tennessee State University. I want to thank you for taking time this evening to join me for this summer orientation meeting. I know that for some of you, this may be your first time meeting me if you're in our certificate program. If you're in our degree program, this has probably been a semester since you have seen me or at least have heard my voice. So I thought this would be a really good time to do just kind of a semester or summer check-in to set the stage for what we have ahead of us in terms of coursework, program outcomes, and just general professional and academic goals. So with that, I would like to just remind you, if you weren't aware of the program outcomes for our program, which is to formulate knowledge of substantive foundations of curriculum, instructional design, and education technology. This is a broad yet innovative and exciting program because you have the opportunity to really look and explore and see how digital tools are shaping not only the education sector, but the workforce and society at large. And what a great time to be in this program after a pandemic or coming out of a pandemic, hopefully, because we probably did not necessarily think, digital tools, smartphones, mobile devices, all this stuff is really nice and flashy. And I see Dr. Milton looking around because in a moment she's probably going to switch filters and show you all the great tools that she has behind her. But wow, the pandemic surely required us to make a true shift in how we functioned in our lives. And I dare say, if you were not already familiar and utilizing digital tools, your experience in 2020 was probably uncomfortable. And I'm fortunate to say that I know for myself and Dr. Milton, we probably were busier because we were trying to help many of our colleagues across the university and the higher education spectrum get acquainted with all the things that are already embedded within this program. So I've mentioned her, but I want to take a moment to introduce the members of the EdTech team that are here at Tennessee State University. I'll be doing a lot of the talking, unfortunately, this evening, but again, I'm Dr. Origi. You see on the screen, a lot of my research interests center around millennial learners, classroom and behavior management. Social media is a huge thing for me, and I just want to dedicate this presentation to TikTok because it has kept me highly entertained and informed throughout the pandemic. And I've learned how to cook, household hacks and everything through my love of social media. But I also enjoy online teaching, learning, and engagement. I don't believe that Dr. Lynn is on the call tonight. She might be teaching class, but many of you had her last semester, Dr. Shomei Lin. You see her research interests on the screen centering around digital learning and design, games and virtual and augmented reality, and a variety of digital applications in literacy and STEM. I'm honored to have on the call. This is a real treat because not only is she the dean of the graduate school, but also a member of our EdTech team in the area of digital leadership and emerging technology, the world's first appologist, Dr. Robbie Melton. So Dr. Melton, I'm going to turn over to you to send some introduction or some welcomes and greetings.
Oh, great. And hello, everyone. I am your apologist, and you're probably thinking, what's an apologist? Well, that is a person who researches mobile devices, smart connecting devices, and the world of apps. I will bet you, yes, I will, that I can app you out. I have studied over 30,000 apps, whether they're Apple, Android, Windows, and somebody still might have a BlackBerry. But my research area comes in with all of your future technology, from your gaming technology to virtual reality, augmented reality. I have for you all types of gaming, simulation, augmented reality, and robots. I'm going to come off of my virtual background so you can actually see my world. This is my home, and you see nothing but technology. Even my hands and fingers are coded. My clothes are coded. You going, what? Oh, yes. When you come into my class, you're going to explore, you're going to see some amazing technology, and you go, oh my. You're going to be an innovator, a creator, a designer, and yes, you will design mobile apps. You learn how to code and create. And again, anything that you can think of, trust me, we will look at how smart it could be. But just if you were interested, did you hear me say my fingernails were coded? Yes, they are. On this hand, it's coded to detect date rape drugs. Yes, you heard me. That means if I'm somewhere and I have a drink, whether it's liquor, water, whatever, I can take my finger, stick it in, and if it turns a different color, like green, it detects the chemical of date rape drugs. On this side, I can operate all of my computers, my phones, just by a wave of hands. You're going to look at the good, the bad, and who even thought of that technology when you come into my class. So I am so happy that you're going to be a part of this. You will never be the same. From robots in the back, from Google's to Alexa, you'll learn how to make, break, and create. Thank you, Dr. Origi.
And I think it's important. You referenced your course, and the course that she's referring to is EDCI 5760, which is emerging technology that is offered in the fall semester. So you have a lot to look forward to. And Dr. Melton, I did unshare my screen so they can get a full shot of all those devices and gadgets behind you. But did you want to also talk about your role at the Smart Center as well
Yes.
before we move on? Okay, I'll unshare just so they can still see you.
Yes, if you would allow me to share my screen, please.
You should have the ability to do so.
Well, thank you. Everyone, I'm going to show you because I'm always a teacher, and then I want you to walk away and go, wow, I learned something. So I'm going to show you a new technique that you're going to learn in my class, and that's even with Zoom. Yes, with Zoom. You heard me, with Zoom. So I'm just going to bring up a very quick PowerPoint presentation about the graduate school very quickly, since they're all graduate. And here's a new feature in Zoom that's open to all of you. But again, everything that we do is strategic in terms of teaching, learning, resource. So in a few minutes, you will watch me come into my PowerPoint presentation. So on behalf of the graduate school, in which I am the graduate dean, as well as the Smart Center, TSU has a Smart Technology Innovation Center. It will open physically this fall in the Humphreys building. But in a few minutes, you're going to see, and I bet you I picked the wrong PowerPoint with probably 300 slides that it's preparing, but give it a few minutes and you'll see your instructor come into the PowerPoint. So as we are waiting, maybe there are questions, Dr. Origi.
Absolutely. While we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and look at my participants list and give you an opportunity to introduce yourselves, because again, some of
Good.
you have not met me, or I just need to be familiar. I've seen you just your eyes. I've not seen you pass the face mask. So on my roster or my participants list, I have Donna. So Donna, if you want to unmute, just introduce yourself and let us know which program and what you hope to gain from this learning pathway.
Hello, I don't know if you can see me. My name is Donna Wilkes. I am with the certificate program right now for educational technology. I do plan on going on to complete my master's, and everything that Dr. Ravi Melton just said is so interesting. I actually have a son that goes to TSU. He just completed his first year, and I have one getting ready to graduate from high school next year. And the Smart Tech Innovation Center is something that I think he would be interested in. So we may have to make a visit to the school soon.
Fabulous.
That's
It's
great.
COVID clean, and we'll make sure that they have it.
That'll work.
Great. It's a pleasure meeting you, Donna. Next, I have Leon.
Good afternoon. My name is Leon Baker. I'm currently pursuing the MED program for the EdTech program at TSU. I currently teach music for KIP here in Nashville. Been in Nashville for about 2 years. I agree with Ms. Dunn. I'm excited. I've always been really interested in technology, so excited to learn all the things.
Thank you so much, Leon. And then finally, we have Mink. And Mink, if you can hear me, I think you're still on mute.
Hello, my name is Min Dongpark. Hello. Yeah, I'm from South Korea, and I finished the second semester. And I was a teacher in high school in South Korea, and nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. So happy you can join us. Are you in South Korea now? I'm trying to gather this time zone difference. Bless your heart.
And yes, Dr. Rigi?
Yes.
Are you able to see my screen now?
I am able to see you and you within your presentation. I lost you there for a moment.
Whoa!
I was like, where are you in the, you blended in quite well with the collage. So I had to, if you had not moved, I would not have seen you.
Well, again, Dr. Rigi, this is some technology, and some of you are probably going to watch me put myself right here in the presentation. So we have technology that you're going to use every time you meet with us, with Dr. Rigi, myself, and Dr. Showman Lin, you're going to learn something new every time. Look at this. And this is free. Yes.
Wonderful.
Because TSU in the EdTech program promotes OER. What's that, everyone? Open Education Resources. Buckle up. You will not have to pay for a book when you take my course. The whole program is moving so you don't have to buy a textbook, because we know the cost of textbooks. We know that it's over $1,200 a year, but in this program, guess what? No textbook. You all aren't going, this is great.
Yay.
For the whole. So again, Dr. Rigi, I won't take too much of your time, but just showing them how we can use technology for teaching and learning. So if you would note in the chat, whoa, you learned something new today. You learned some techniques about Zoom, and I'm going to come off my slide. And you also know that Dr. Rigi and I travel all over the world. We have been to countries to present technology that you're going to learn here. So we've been to Barcelona, we've been to Europe, all of the stuff you see and you're going to learn, you're going to be right there again as innovators, motivators, and yes, you're going to learn how to code and create.
And she mentions that, she has. I know that she's trying to be respectful of our agenda, but there's so much of wealth of resources within Dr. Melton. Not only as a dean of the graduate school, but affiliated with the Smart Center. If you saw the recent article about the TSU partnership with our coding support for Africa, Dr. Melton and her team is a part of that with their dual enrollment services, as well as our grant with Apple. That is part of the Everyone Can Code and Create initiative. So there's a lot of resources here that are available to you as a part of this program. So thank you, Dr. Melton. I also see Dr. Shomei Lin was able to join us. So Dr. Lin, if you want to bring greetings, good afternoon.
Hi. Okay. I'm so excited to attend this meeting. Actually, I'm out of country right now. I'm in Taiwan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
And you all have to forgive us again with COVID. We really haven't seen each other. We've not been in the same building for over a year. And just the fact that she is all the way overseas and still taking the time to attend this meeting just shows how excited we are for this program. And Dr. Lin, thank you so much. We have a very short agenda, so you can get back to, I don't know if you're awake or asleep. I don't know, but thank you just so much for being on this call. Okay, so I do have, so that's our wonderful dynamic team of EdTech lovers and researchers, and we are here to basically support you and make sure that you have a wonderful experience as you grow your skills. Because we truly believe that, as Dr. Milton has shown you, that you have an opportunity in this program to take learning to new horizons. And I want you not to think about the mountain that you see in the middle of your screen, but the stars and the atmosphere behind it. Because what we have thought about learning and what we thought about technology, we thought of it as it's this mountain, this rock that interferes with everything. And really, technology in this program really serves as the star in the atmospheres. It's limitless. And as long as you have a growth mindset, as long as you're thinking about innovation and how technology is moving us forward without losing the human touch, you see, you know, we're still ready to get back into seeing everybody in person, but the opportunities that can come from this and your advocacy is really the core aim of this program, one of our core goals. So thinking about that and moving on, key things that we're going to discuss tonight, and then I'm going to let you go. Summer expectations, the competency portfolio, and program resources. And again, sit back and relax. This is being recorded. So if you miss anything, just know that the recording will be provided for you. So in terms of summer expectations, the first thing is ideally we want to make sure that you are enrolled in the 2 courses that are offered this summer, which is Instructional Technology 5740 and Information or Instructional Systems Design 5750. Now, if you are not registered for those courses, just have a conversation with me offline. Do not panic. This is a no panic program. We will make sure that you have an opportunity to stay in sequence and keep moving forward. But knowing that those 2 courses are only offered in the summer, traditionally, we want to make sure that if you had any registration issues, remember, she's above me on my Zoom rectangle, that the Dean of the Graduate School is here. Her staff knows that we're meeting tonight and they are ready and on standby in case you had any holds or issues to get you registered in those courses. So that's the first thing and most important thing in terms of summer expectations. The next thing is to continue your focus on an EdTech topic, whether you're able to take the classes this semester or you are enrolled. We want to make sure that you are looking at how your industry and field and your research interest is changing because of EdTech. And again, the pandemic has served as the perfect platform to give you some ideas to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. But we like to say in our program, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the innovative, because everything is shifting at all times. So this is an opportunity for you, again, to continue that focus, because that is going to be the essence of what you will demonstrate for us when we talk about the competency portfolio. And then finally, because I wouldn't be a good coordinator if I didn't have an advisor moment, making sure that you have your official program of study on file. Now, from my understanding, grades have been released from the spring semester. So at this particular time, you should have a document from me that basically has your grades from the spring semester updated, or and also the classes that you're taking this summer. I want to make sure that your files are updated so that way you have a academic receipt every time you're making moves and decisions and growing in our program. And that way, when it's time for you to graduate, you know that all of your paperwork is up to date and has been processed in the appropriate manner. So I put that little asterisk there because if you're in the certificate program, you're going to have a different program of study than those that are in the degree program. And you'll see that on your screen now. So on the left side is the plan for individuals pursuing their certificate. It's just the 6 EdTech classes. And on the right, you see the full program of study for those of you that are pursuing the master's degree. So you should all on this call have one of those documents in hand. But for Donna, I think you said that you're working on the certificate. You will see that that pink arrow shows you where those 6 classes go right into that master's degree program. So you are already there as you're working. Please know that what you're doing in the certificate program will already filter in and align with what will be expected of you in the degree plan. So you're on target. We want to make sure that by the end of this week, that all of you have this document in hand completed to show where you the courses that you have taken, and to make sure that it's been filed with me and also with the department. Questions there? All right, as Dr. Melton would say, life is good. I'm going to check the chat super quick. Great. And then we're going to move on because, again, we have a quick little agenda to go through. So competency portfolio. Now, I heard through the grapevine that some people were like, oh my gosh, we have to do this competency portfolio. And then there's a comprehensive exam. And what are we supposed to study for the comprehensive exam? Well, you will be happy to know that your competency portfolio is your comprehensive exam. So you are working on your comprehensive exam right now. What? No papers? What? No, no multiple Saturdays? Not at all. So right now, if you are in cohorts 1, 2, or 3, you will have already taken, the courses that are highlighted in yellow in fall of 2020, spring of 2021, and here we are in summer of 2021. So those are the classes that are going into your competency portfolio. In the fall, you would finish up those last 2 classes, and then you would basically apply for the comprehensive exam and defend your portfolio. So what does that look like? Well, it should be following the COVA model. You choose the platform, Wix, Weebly, WordPress. If you have another fancy platform, you choose it. But we want to make sure that you are building your portfolio around the course artifacts that support your research interest. So for example, if Dr. Melton is big into gamification, she would basically design her competency portfolio on the learning theories, frameworks, multimedia projects, training tools that all would support gamification and gaming design. And I'm going to pause because Dr. Melton, if I believe, I think your hand is up, but it's over a pink thing. So I'm not sure if that's your background.
Oh, no, please continue. I'll
Okay.
Add it at the end.
Okay, sure. So you are going to be working on your portfolio. And for those of you that are with me this semester in instructional technology, you will also have another assignment that is going to be focused on showcasing and putting your portfolio together. But the core principle is to make sure that you are modeling the COVA model, that you have the choice of platform, you have ownership, because this is to be a research interest that is of passion to you. That you have, it reflects your voice as an emerging technology practitioner, and that it's authentic to the experiences that you are having in your workforce, as well as this program overall. I also want to share with you the rubric so that you have an idea of what is going to be expected when you meet with the committee when it's time for you to do your exam. So you're going to be focused on goal setting, learning theories, and learning theories was specifically addressed in the Intro to EdTech course. Leadership, and Dr. Melton is, I don't want to say that's her criteria, but Dr. Melton is awesome in terms of looking at the realities and challenges surround digital education, digital learning, and leadership. We also have tool selection in terms of the different types of tools and resources that impact your particular field or industry with regards to EdTech. Accountability, and making sure that you think about fairness and support within your area, as well as professional practice. And then the final three indicators are digital citizenship. Do you understand the fairness and the accessibility and equity around digital tools, the risk and the consequences, and also accessibility in terms of making sure that you are thinking about the needs of all users and learners when they're utilizing and accessing EdTech resources within your area and industry. So this rubric is available to you. We don't want it to be a secret. And as I said, part of this check-in is to make sure that you feel comfortable with these 9 indicators and have an opportunity to use this semester and also in the fall semester to prepare and shape your portfolio to align and to meet the target criteria for each indicator. So I'll pause and take questions, and I also see Dr. Melton has a comment. Dr. Melton? I think you're on mute. I'm not sure if you're.
I'm so sorry. Just wanted to share with you what I call the visual part of what Dr. Origi presented. You're going to look at the old, the present, and the future technology tools, whether you are an educator, a trainer in the corporate world, or you want to be an innovator, a designer, an entrepreneur with all of this. This program crosses all disciplines. And again, we're transparent. As Dr. Origi indicated, for your comprehensive exam, that's out of the window. We believe in portfolios, and it shouldn't be a surprise. And we prepare you with each course, as well as the rubric, so you know how we, as a whole team, will review you and get you ready for the world of technology. And Dr. Origi, I just want to share with them, as you had indicated before, if you wouldn't mind if I can share my screen one more time. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sharing my screen because in the area of education technology, you always want your client to know what you are doing, even as you are preparing. So here is the National Center for Smart Technology Innovation, the only one on this planet. I am also here to share with you, again, as Dr. Origi indicated, everyone can code, everyone can create, noted by our Apple partnership, in which you all will be a part of it. And if you know anything about Tim Cook, heard of Tim Cook? Tim Cook is the CEO of Apple. And yes, you'll be part of this initiative. But Dr. Origi, I'm going to come off my PowerPoint and I'm going to leave them with what's coming here at TSU. And this will be our state-of-the-art Smart Esports Center. So here we go. Take a look. At Tennessee State University. You'll learn how to not just play games, but to design games. You'll learn simulation. You'll learn coding and creating. You'll see a whole new view of technology with our upcoming Smart Center. Everything interactive, from the tables to the chairs, to the floor to the ceiling. Dr. Rigi will be teaching her courses within this center. And is Dr. Chomaine still on?
Yes.
Oh yes, and you will be teaching within this center also. So I stopped
great.
here because again, she is our game designer. She's our person. So you all should just be going, oh my gosh, look at Tennessee State University. So with that, Dr. Rigi, I turn it back to you, because life is amazing when you're in the EdTech program.
Life is also innovative, and I do hope that when you are able to come back to campus, that you do take an opportunity to go down and I know you'll see me, but also again, you'll have the opportunity to work with Dr. Melton in the emerging technology course, but also to see a lot of the things that they have in the Smart Center that's currently housed in, I forgot the name of the buildings now, Avon Williams campus, but she said moving to Humphreys. So it's not just to see it, but also to see it on a PowerPoint presentation, but also to physically see it and take advantage of those resources. So in terms of program resources, because honestly and truthfully, we're wrapping up. I said I was going to be brief, and I stand by that. Program resources. All of you at this particular point should have the EdTech handbook for your academic pathway. There's an EdTech handbook for the certificate program, as well as the degree program. And the document looks somewhat like this. I'm sorry, I kind of scrolled through that really quickly. And I have it provided to you as a PDF, but I want to make sure that you have it because it goes through the program. It's kind of like our own version of the graduate catalog, just the major highlights, but it includes a variety of resources within it in terms of course descriptions, the program structure, information about the comprehensive exam, but also within that document, which I think is very helpful, is information or the rubrics that will help you with writing, but also the EdTech keywords and terms. So these are things throughout our program that you definitely want to make sure that you are familiar with from beginning to end, because at the bare minimum, an EdTech graduate should be familiar with any and all of these terms. Dr. Milton mentioned OER, you've heard gamification, blended learning, one-on-one technology, but again, our field is quickly moving, so I couldn't capture everything on one sheet of paper, but I think this is a really good, robust starter document to just kind of, if you were to do EdTech Jeopardy, if you could go through and say, I'm familiar with all these terms, you are in great shape. If you are not, trust me, you will have an opportunity to make sure that you are before we conclude this program, but that's going to be a really good go-to resource. But again, in that handbook, it also includes our faculty members. We did recently have Dr. Tiller sneak away into retirement, but we're hopefully going to wrangle him back in to facilitate a course with us. But I do have all of their email addresses here as a part of the handbook, in addition to my contact information as well. So I do want to make sure that you all have your program handbook in your possession, just so that you know how this program is designed from beginning to end. And as well, access to your professional standards. As Dr. Melton mentioned, we are a very fluid program. We don't want to just lock you into the K-12 sector. We also recognize that trainers, advocates, and innovators and entrepreneurs are also found within this program. And so you are either aligning to the AECT standards or the ISTE standards. So one is workforce. The ISTE standards is more K-12 in terms of being an EdTech instructional coach. But having those standards there are going to be really resourceful for you, that when you're thinking about career opportunities and career enhancements, many of times you can speak from those specific standards. And also a helpful tidbit, you will notice on the actual rubric that the standards that your portfolio will align with for the comprehensive exam also aligns to your standard. So when you're using that portfolio beyond our program, you can actually document and show how your comprehensive exam meets those specific organizational standards. So we wanted to make sure that it's very clear and very transparent for you. And finally, I have my information on the slide for you because I know that everybody is busy, but as part of my responsibility to serve as your EdTech coordinator, I have the privilege of saying 2 words: bother me. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, bother me. Because the one thing everyone says is, I didn't want to bother you, Dr. Rigi. I give you permission on this recorded Zoom call, whether you are in Nashville or Taiwan, bother me. I'm going to hold you to that. You can hashtag that and put it on social media. Hashtag bother me, because I definitely want to make sure that you have a positive and a productive experience within our program. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and allow you to ask any final questions before we conclude.
I have a question. Is there a provided, or will there be a provided template of what our final comp exam should, I guess, visually look like?
Absolutely. And one of the things, if you remember that slide that talked about voice and authenticity, I have a sample for you. And if you are in, which I believe you are, if you are in 5740, we will be working from that template, and you will see that as you kind of go forward. But we also, I don't want to say don't want you to see the template, because that kind of sounds like not fair. But that voice and authenticity part of the COVA model says we want to see a portfolio that represents Leon, not the candidate that worked on that portfolio. We want to make sure if you are looking at ed tech and music, I want to hear a rock and rollin' melodic portfolio, because it's going to be something that is going to represent you from beginning to end, that choice, that ownership, that voice, and that authenticity. So you're going to see, yes, I do have an ed tech portfolio, but that one is going to represent the military and teaching with the military, because that was his research interest and that was his approach. And so the structure and the feel was very authentic to him. And that's what we don't want you to lose in this program. We want to make sure that we can see a Leon portfolio from beginning to end, which will look different from Mink's, which will look different from Donna's, which will look different from Ishmael's, that it should reflect you, because ultimately when you speak to it beyond this program, it should reflect your growth and evolution and not fit into the model of somebody else's. And Dr. Melton, Dr. Lynn, if that sounds about right, or if that makes sense, let me know. But yes, I do have that, but will I share it in a way that still allows you to be you, Leon? Other questions for the good of the order? Because I'm over here trying to see what time it is in Taiwan, but I don't know if Dr. Lynn is eating breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I know I'm getting ready to eat dinner.
No, it's right now. It's in the morning.
Oh, come on. Well,
8:44 a.m.
Oh.
Breakfast.
The dedication of it all. Okay. Great.
And
Well, ladies, gentlemen, from sea to shining sea, thank you again for taking the time out of your morning or evening to attend the EdTech orientation. Remember, hashtag bother me. I do look forward to working with you, but I also look forward to seeing you all complete your academic dreams here at TSU. Maybe work with us in the Smart Center, but certainly take your creative endeavors and ideas and survive and thrive. So for those of you that are with me and Dr. Daniels this summer for 5750, we will be in touch. For everyone else, have a great evening, morning. Good morning. Have a good evening, good morning, and you are free to sign off.
take care. Look forward to you to code and create and to design mobile apps.
Thank you. Bye.